Today's screencast is all about using Doctopus to help you organize, grade, and provide feedback on Google Docs. The very first thing you'll need to use Doctopus is a class roster with a few pieces of information. I think the easiest way to collect this information is just to create a Google form and give it to your students. One thing to notice is that in Spring Lake Park we are able to automatically collect our Spring Lake Park school's username. Be sure to click this when you're creating your form because that will automatically collect the student's email address. It won't require them to type it in correctly, and that's going to save you some trouble in the long run. Now there's 3 questions you absolutely want to ask your students on this survey. The first is their hour, the second is their last name, the third is their first name. Alright, I just filled out that form as if I were a student, so you'll notice I put in my hour. It automatically collected my email address. I put in my first name and last name. Obviously, if I had a real class, this would be filled with lots and lots of students, but for the purpose of this, I'm just going to have my one entry. Now that we have our spreadsheet, one of the first things to know is every time you use Doctopus for an assignment, you need a separate spreadsheet. Now, instead of recreating the wheel and having the kids use that form every single time, what I would do is keep this as your master list, and each time you're going to do an assignment, just go ahead and do File, Make a Copy. You can name the new document the name of your assignment. This one happens to be an internet safety paragraph. So I'll just go ahead and make a copy of that, and now I can keep this as my master list and just make a copy every single time. If I have kids join my class or if I have them switch hours, I can manually change or add, or I can have the kid who joins my class take the form. The first step in using Doctopus is to actually install the script Doctopus. The way we're going to do that is we're going to go to Tools, we're going to go to Script Gallery, and I'm going to do a search for Doctopus. And I'm going to have to go ahead and click Install. After a short installation period, I'm going to click this X up here and I'm going to know it worked because I'll see Doctopus now in my menu bar. Alright, getting started. Now that we have this Doctopus link, we're going to go ahead and click Doctopus, and we would actually click Launch Installation. I've already done that, so let's go to step 1. Alright, step 1 in Doctopus is to set some parameters for the assignment. Now there's several options you can choose. Under how you want to share the assignment with students, you can do project groups. So let's say you have 10 groups in your class and you want to have, each group working on the same document. You can do individual and every kid gets the same assignment. You can have a differentiated assignment, so not every kid is working on the same thing. Or you can do whole class where the entire class gets one document to see and work on. If you are interested in differentiated or project groups, I would have a chat with your TKIC. I can help you work through that. For today, let's just go with individual all the same. Alright, whole class level, that's asking, do you want the entire class to be able to see one another's assignments? I'm going to say no access, but if I did want, kids to be able to see each other's assignments, that's absolutely appropriate sometimes. I could choose view only, or they can leave comments to their peers. Individual student access, the kids can edit. Alright, and then down below, there's going to be a few settings you need to indicate. The main one is to look at this column that says which column, or this question saying which column contains student email addresses. On our spreadsheet, the one that has the email addresses is username, so make sure that's selected. Alright, now let's go ahead and save those settings. Next up, what they're asking me here is where is the assignment that they want me to share with the students. So I'm going to select the folder that it's in. Once I select the folder that the assignment is in, I can go ahead and click here and it's going to give me all the assignments that are in there. So if I have assignments for every single class, I can keep them all in one place. Here's the assignment I want the kids to see today, so I'll save those settings. Now in step 3, it's asking me where do I want those assignments to go when students are complete with them. I can create a folder ahead of time, or I can create it right here in Doctopus. So let's call this the Internet Safety assignment, and let's just create that folder. Here's one of the features I love about Doctopus. You know how often our students don't use the naming convention correctly when they're naming their assignments? Doctopus lets you set up how they're going to name their document. You're going to want to actually copy from the links up here when you're using the spreadsheet specifics, because that's going to give you the right answers. So, using the naming convention we have at Westwood Middle School, the first piece is always their hour, right? So I'm going to copy and paste that. Then we do their last name, their first name, and the name of the assignment. So let's get those in there, and let's call this safety paragraph. Now it will automatically name all of the kids' assignments correctly. You can send an email to kids letting them know that they got the assignment, but you could probably just tell them in class too, so I'm going to save it as is. Last screen here, I'm just going to verify that I've chosen everything as I want it to be. If I didn't, I can go back and I can correct that, but for now I'm going to run, copy, and share. All right, let's take a look at what happened when I shared using Doctopus. A few things happened. First of all, you're going to notice a link to the assignment showed up on the spreadsheet. So instead of having to click in every single assignment that a student shared with me, I can get them all on the same spreadsheet. I can see when the student last edited the assignment. So did they do it today? Did they do it yesterday? And there are also spaces for grades and written feedback. But let's go back to those. What I've done now is switched over to iPad view so you can see what it looks like when a student is working on the assignment you shared with them. I, as a student, did a search for the assignment that my teacher shared with me, and you're going to notice it's right on top. It's named correctly. I can open it up, and I have the option to edit it. Now remember, each individual student is getting their own copy of this. They're each having their own copy that they can edit. So I'm going to pretend I'm the student and I'm typing in my assignment, and obviously if I were a real student I would be doing a fabulous job, but for example's sake I'm just typing gibberish. Alright, and because this is Google Docs, anything as a student that I just typed on my assignment is automatically shared with the teacher and only the teacher. So now I can go as a teacher back to my spreadsheet, click on that link for the students, and I can go ahead and get right to their assignment. Because this is Google Docs, I can read it. I can type in comments to the student, right? And I can completely annotate their work. I can give them lots of really great feedback. I might want to change the color so it's obvious to the kids what I typed and they typed. But it's a really quick, easy way for you to give feedback. Now, if I have 150 kids, which many of us do, I can just go ahead and click on all of their links here. I don't have to click in and out of folders to get to assignments, or I have to search for them if they named them incorrectly. They're all going to be right here for me. When I'm done, I can go ahead and type a grade. So let's say, 90%, and also provide some feedback. Great job, read my comments. Now, last but not least, when I'm completely done grading those assignments, I've put in my grades, I've put in my feedback, I can share that information with students. So if I click on Doctopus again, some of the last steps are to embargo for grading. What this will do, this will take away the right of the student to be able to edit their document anymore. So once I'm done grading, they can't go back and change anything. Now I can go to send personalized emails to students, and I can send an email to them that will indicate their grade. It will indicate the comments I gave to them, and it'll also give a link to the document where they can go in and read my comments. I want to double check that the right section is actually giving their email addresses. Remember, that's the username column, so that's correct. Email subject is going to be feedback on, and then a link to their document. And then I can actually edit the text down here if I want it to say something differently. For the sake of this, I'm just going to go ahead and send it. All right, so let's talk about what just happened. I created a spreadsheet that was able to share an assignment with all of my students that they could work on individually. It has a link to their assignment. I was able to stop editing rights when they were done. I was able to give them a grade, and I was also able to give them written feedback all in one document really quickly, really organized. Huge time saver. Last but not least, when you're ready to enter these into the gradebook, because these grades obviously don't connect to our campus gradebook, the great thing about using a spreadsheet is I can sort really easily. So if I go to last name, I can sort them alphabetically, and then if I go to hour, I can sort them by hour. And now every single grade is going to be in the exact same order that it's in for our campus gradebook. You can really quickly zip through and enter those percentages.